Let's talk about a huge shift that's happening right now in how businesses understand information. For years, it's been a world of risky guesswork, but believe me, that era is coming to a very rapid end.
You know, this quote from Ivan Massaw, it just nails it. Relying on old methods like basic sentiment analysis isn't just a little outdated, it's like trying to build a spaceship with a hammer and chisel. In today's world, it's a massive liability.
So let's really dig into that liability. The way things are currently done isn't just inefficient, it's an active source of business risk that can have some pretty serious consequences.
Okay, take a look at this comparison because it shows you everything. On one side, you have the old way of doing things, just riddled with false positives, totally impossible to audit, slow, and yeah, just plain risky. On the other side, you've got governed RAG, giving you accurate, auditable, fast, and verifiable insights. It's a night and day difference.
And this really spells out the dangers. Simple keyword matching, that just gives you a constant stream of false alarms. And when you do get an insight, there's no paper trail, which creates these huge, critical audit gaps. You're slower to react, you miss key opportunities, and all of this just adds up to some major legal and compliance exposure.
So, if that's the problem, what's the solution? This is where RAG comes into the picture. I want you to think of it as getting answers with receipts. It's the new gold standard for AI that you can actually trust.
In the simplest terms, Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG, is an AI that doesn't just make stuff up. Before it gives you an answer, it goes back to your own trusted data, finds the relevant, verified facts, and then it uses only those facts to build its response.
And the whole process is surprisingly straightforward. First, you ask a question, just in plain English. Maybe you ask, what were the key compliance risks mentioned in our internal chats last quarter? Second, the AI doesn't guess. It retrieves the actual evidence, the emails, the reports, the meeting notes, and it links every piece of info back to its source. And third, it generates a cited answer. So you get the key risks were X, Y, and Z, and you can find them in these specific documents. See? Every single claim comes with a receipt.
And it all comes back to this fundamental truth. The quality of your AI's answers is completely dependent on the quality of its inputs. It's simple, right? You can't expect brilliant, reliable answers from messy, untrustworthy data.
And that's why this clean fuel metaphor is just so powerful. RAG runs on high-quality, structured data, information that's timestamped and linked directly back to its source. This isn't just random data. It's verifiable evidence that powers a reliable analytical engine.
Now, it's really important to get this. We're not talking about some far-off future tech. The tipping point is happening right now. You've got this convergence of market forces, technology, and regulation that's making this shift not just urgent, but totally achievable today.
And hey, if you need proof, just follow the money. Gartner is forecasting that companies are going to be spending hundreds of billions of dollars on generative AI next year alone. This is not experimental budget anymore. This is core infrastructure spending. This is real.
So what you have are these three powerful forces all pushing this forward. You've got that massive market spend we just saw. You've got technology that's finally mature. It's actually affordable to do this at scale now. And you have that growing regulatory pressure, like the EU AI Act, which basically demands that you can prove where your AI's answers come from.
And just look how fast this is moving. Within a year, you're going to see commercial grounded answer products from the major cloud providers. By 2026, proper evaluation will be standard practice. Then get this. By the second half of 2026, it's predicted that over 40% of all enterprise AI will be running on governed RAG. The train is absolutely leaving the station.
So this brings us to the stakes, right? What this is all about. And you can really boil it down to a simple choice between risk and return on investment. The cost of doing nothing, well, it's becoming dangerously high.
If you're still relying on those old systems, this is what your risk profile probably looks like. It's not just one big problem. The faulty analytics are the biggest piece of the pie, sure, but you're also exposed across the board in governance, legal, operations, skills. You're standing on some pretty shaky ground.
And this slide just lays out the choice in the starkest possible terms. You can stick with the old way and get more false positives, unauditable intelligence, slow analysis, and yeah, you'll fall behind the market. Or you can adopt RAG. That means you reduce hallucination risk, you get ready for regulators, you accelerate your insights, and you get a massive return on investment.
So we've covered the why, a lot. Now let's talk about the how. And this isn't some overwhelming, multi-year project. You can start making a real impact with a clear, manageable 90-day action plan.
Here are your first 3 steps. 1. Launch a pilot using that clean fuel, that time-stamped, source-linked data. 2. Instrument your pilot from day 1 so you can measure what actually matters. And 3. Apply smart cost controls. Things like quantization and caching, they're just techniques to make the whole thing run more efficiently and save you money.
And what should you measure? Focus on these 2 critical things. First, time to first validated signal, which is just a fancy way of saying how quickly can you get an insight you actually trust. And second, citation F1. Think of F1 like a grade in school that combines both the accuracy and the completeness of the AI sources into a single score. These 2 metrics will prove the value of RAG fast.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question. Take a hard look at your current systems and ask yourself, is your analysis truly creating clarity and helping you make better decisions, or is it just adding to the noise? The choice is becoming clearer every single day.